mother. How many mothers? Oh, I still. My mom remembers. Okay. Okay. Like my high school history named Rick Arney. Rick Arney. What's it? Rick Arney. He was my. You know, I ever did till one time I shook his hand so hard he almost strained his shoulder. Like there's a there's a right way to squeeze someone's hand. Like you shake someone's hand, there's a right way and a wrong one. Like, or I always call it and I try to do it and one time I gripped it, and I go, and he went, and his right shoulder went like, that was Rick Arney. Rick Arney did that. Or you know the we used to, let's see. I was gonna say how did the coaches? How you doing? One day, girl, there was a card. And one of the episodes says Shaggy was on roller skating. Was on rollers. I mean, he had rollers. He was rollers. And then all of a sudden, you hear this a thud noise. And one day, he ends up in the bathtub. And the shower is on Shaggy. And that was on a motorized, alright, Cotton. That's a day Tuesday. I used to watch that car. And there was a cartoon. He was saying, yeah. I have never heard that. Oh, they have some of the on Boomerang. You ever watch Boom? Which is like, well, it's a like, if, which is the well, Cartoon Network will be like, what's cartoon? Well, I did not know that. I did not know that. That's okay. What would be the smartest? Carlson. Oh yeah, Carlson. That was pretty good. Carlson. All right, Carlson. I had a Carlson. But first saw, he looks like my high school named Rick Arn. He looks like Rick Arn. That looks like Rick Arn. I thought he looked like. Two, 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 two. 13-3, yeah. Who did that? Tom the Cat one time. Yeah, go ahead then. I told it. But Rick Q. Oh, I see what Kate. Yeah, okay, yeah, whatever. Sometimes I don't know much. Oh, I got you. So what time? So it's just. Oh, okay. I can always check and make sure. Oh yeah. Oh, that's complete. So, one of those ones who lost her clock. She lost her clock. Where are you coming with? Of course, they're gonna have the I told man, I'm probably the best story you'll ever hear on. Oh yeah. What? Fat what? Told not Fred McBuffin. Oh, that was a. I think it was 17. Whistle. Now that looks like. No, that looks. He called him like Speedy. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome you to Central Methodist University and Puckett Fieldhouse. It's Halloween, and it's also senior night here at the volleyball match between Central Methodist and Baker University. Quentin Norris sitting in the catbird seat, or known as the press box that Vin Scully built. As Central Methodist takes on Baker. Central Methodist, they're 19-9, 13-3 in the conference. Baker's 9-17, 4-12 in the conference. Yesterday, Central Methodist played two over at Columbia College, lost both games. They lost the first game to Missouri Baptist, 21-25, 19-25, and and 17-25. And I believe Missouri Baptist at the time, they were ranked number 9 in the polls there. And then the NAC camp, they lost to Columbia College. Columbia College was ranked number 15 in the polls, 21-25, 16-25, 25-14, 13-25 as well. This past Friday, Baker lost to Mid-American Nazarene, 25-23, 10-25, 19-25, and 15-25 there as well. Of course, this is the final regular season for Central Methodist Volleyball. We know the postseason is coming up there. Well, of course, tomorrow, the Central Methodist women's basketball team, as they begin their journey for 3 consecutive trips to the NAIA Women's Basketball's Final Four. And hopefully we can bring home a national championship. They'll be taking on Stevens College at 5:30 p.m. pregame show at 5:15. The men's basketball team, they're 1-0 on there. They took care of Fringe University this past Thursday night. It was an exciting game there, 88-73 victory. They'll be taking on Health Science and Pharmacy. That's at 7:30 p.m. on November the 1st as well. Of course, men's soccer begins their postseason with the Hardin-Ricker Conference tournament, the number 6 seed. They'll be head to Olathe Kings to take on the number 3 seed, Mid-American Nazarene, for a 1 o'clock start time. Then Saturday, of course, the volleyball will host the conference tournament. But I was told it may be at 11 o'clock, but we're not really sure yet if it's what the official time is. But you can follow along on cmueagles.com, of course, the Hardin-Ricker Conference website as well, with the official time there. And most likely their first round game will be against William Penn there on Saturday as well. And if, of course, they win Saturday, of course, most likely they will host the semifinal game on November the 7th against probably maybe Benedictine or probably Mount Mercy. One of those matchups there, but we'll wait and see. I'm sure the conference tournament format will be releasing soon, sometime tomorrow as well. Maybe we'll know more maybe tomorrow afternoon as well. So you can always check it along on cmueagles.com or the Hardin-Ricker Conference Network. Of course, the football team, they'll be taking on Baker at 1 o'clock down at Davis Field. The women's soccer team, Hardin-Ricker Conference regular season champions. They're the 1 seed. They'll be taking on Baker at 6 p.m. down at Davis Field there as well. And also, I want to give a shout-out to Central Methodist women's basketball coach Mike Davis. Today is his birthday. So I want to wish him a happy birthday to Coach Davis. I know he is in Boonville, Missouri. Of course, I sent him a message this morning, wish him a happy birthday. So I'm sure Coach is doing well. Looking forward to the season tomorrow night against Stevens College. And, of course, remember last year at this time, their women's basketball team opened up their season on his birthday as well. So, and also tomorrow, not only is the women's basketball season open, I also wish I had happy birthday to my sister Belinda Hupp, who's doing well. I know she's holding down the fort at the Hupp household in Slater, Missouri as well. So I want to wish Belinda a happy birthday. So Belinda, if you're listening, I want to wish you a really happy birthday from Central Methodist University as well. Also tonight is Game 4 of the World Series, and probably later on we'll probably give you some updates on the World Series. Of course, Texas won 3-1 there. Of course, good solid pitching. I think Max Scherzer left after 3, and then John Gray pitched, I think, 4 2/3 of relief appearances. Did a wonderful job there for a 3-1 victory. Of course, Corey Seager hit a 2-run homer in the 3rd inning to highlight her for that 3-1 victory there, as well as they lead the series 2-1. Game 4 is tonight. Of course, Game 5 is tomorrow night, 7 o'clock from Chase Field. If there's a Game 6, that'll be coming Friday night at 7 p.m. from Arlington, Texas. So this should be a fun, I'm thinking it's going to be a fun World Series. I have feelings that because these are probably the two most evenly matched teams you will have seen throughout the baseball season there as well. Of course, their senior day, and of course, they're honoring 10 seniors. I think that's the most. I think one time, I think about 3 years ago, I think at a women's basketball game, I think they honored 18 seniors altogether. I think there was like a total of them at one day. And I think that's the most number of seniors I have ever gone to, have seen at a ball game during my times at Central Methodist, I believe. Of course, yes, several of the students dressed in costumes are going to have a contest. Should be a lot of fun there. So it should be a lot of fun there as well. Of course, also honoring the seniors. Looks like Sydney Healy. If I look down my list, got Annabelle Mawson, Delaney Miller, Alyssa Smith, Crystal Bronner, Riley Burney, Addison Butler, Callie Henson, Jessica Mowry. I think. And Danica Walker, I think are the others. But they'll probably do the festivities before the volleyball match is underway there as well. There you see Baker warming up down on the floor there. So should be a good crowd on hand. Halloween night. Last day of October. Boy, the year is coming and gone. It is amazing. It just seems like yesterday the season just got started for volleyball. Now it's starting to come. It's starting to come to the end. And of course, the postseason, and of course, you got the national tournament coming up there. I think they'll begin their opening round on November 18th there as well. So it should be a lot of fun there tonight. Second time these two teams have met. Central Methodist won the first one on October the 10th. 25-15, 25-18, 25-16 down in Baldwin City, Kansas. So we're about ready to get started. Central Methodist and Baker University. What Norris Singh in the catbird seat. Of course, Jessica Mowry is also one of the seniors. There's Danica White. There's Riley McBurney, Callie Henson, Alyssa Smith. There's Delaney Miller. There's Annabelle Mawson. Morgan LeBlanc. There's Lauren Strange. We're about ready to get started. We're just about less than 4 minutes away for the Central Methodist volleyball match between Central Methodist and Baker. Central Methodist head coach is Coleman Lee. For Baker is Niles Nielsen. That's Addison Butler, Riley McBurney. So we're about ready to get started. As Alyssa Smith. Of course, in about 6 minutes, Game 4 of the World Series between Texas and Arizona. Texas leads that series 2-1. That's Sydney Healing, one of the seniors. Callie Henson, an amazing career for her. I think over 1,400 kills. Of course, she achieved that against Columbia College there during the first set in last night's game. So we're about ready to get going there as both teams will probably have the starting lineups. Give the starting lineups, the national anthem, the prayer. And looks like they're going to have the seniors there. So right now we'll probably join in the activities of our seniors. And, of course, Gary Lenhart, the master of ceremony, will introduce the seniors.
Before we get started, we would like to honor championship, 2 second-place finishes at the conference tournament, and an overall record of 117-38 for our fifth years and 84-34 for our fourth-year seniors. As a group, these girls were responsible for 15 all-conference awards, 1 attacker of the year, 2 freshman of the year, 4 all-region awards, and 2 all-American awards. Our first senior to be recognized is Crystal Braun. Crystal is escorted by her parents, Greg and Greta Braun. Crystal is a 4-time first-team all-conference libero and is the all-time digs leader at CMU. She is from Jefferson City, Missouri, and double majoring in psychology and child development. She is also a member of Psi Chi. She has spent 5 years with the team, and her favorite memories are winning the conference tournament and advancing out of pool play at Nationals freshman year, but also scoring a 3-pointer at Evangel last year when the whole crowd was cheering for her. Meanwhile, she was getting the death glare from Coleman for shanking a pass. After college, Crystal hopes to find a job working with high-needs children, and after having a couple years of work experience, continue her education and get a master's in counseling or social work. Crystal will tell a new player to never walk away from a class, team lift, practice, or game knowing that you could have given more effort. When you feel like you are at your max, push yourself just a little bit harder because it will pay off in the long run. Crystal Braun. Next, we would like to recognize Addison Butler. Addison is being escorted by her parents, John and Susan Butler. Addie is a DS from Winslow, Missouri. She is majoring in mathematics with a minor in secondary education. Her other activities include Kappa Beta Gamma and Kappa Mu Epsilon. She has spent 4 years with the volleyball team. Her favorite memory is finishing 4-0 at Bellevue last year. In the future, Addie hopes to teach high school math, coach volleyball. Something Addie would tell a new player is to be in the moment and enjoy the time you have because it will be over before you know it. Addie Butler. Our next senior is opposite hitter Sydney Healy. Sydney is being escorted by her parents, Steve and Pam Healy. She is an all-conference performer and former junior college national champion from Kansas City, Missouri. Sydney is majoring in business marketing and advertising. Outside of volleyball, Sydney enjoys hanging out with friends, eating at does, going to as many sporting events as possible, and social gatherings on campus while just being a student. She has spent 3 years with the team, and some of her favorite memories include roommate challenges on road trips and going to the beach for the very first time during the team's trip to Florida. After graduation, Sid plans to do an internship in the Kansas City area. She would tell a new player to live in the moment, enjoy the little things as well as the big ones, because in a blink of an eye, time will pass without you knowing it. She would also tell them to have the drive and motivation to dominate. You'll be surprised on how far you can push yourself. Sydney Healy.
thoughts. How about that? That's Annabelle Mawson.
An outside hitter, a 5'8" senior from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, number 6, Alyssa.
That's Alyssa Smith.
Delavero, a 5'4" senior from Jefferson City, Missouri, number 8, Crystal.
That's Crystal Bronner.
At center, a 5'8" senior from Blue Springs, Missouri, number 10, Riley.
That's Riley McBurney.
And opposite him, a 6' senior from Jefferson City, Missouri, number 12,
Callie
Callie Henson.
Henson.
Outside hitter, a 5'11" sophomore from Lisbon, Portugal, number 16, Joanna Milo.
It's Joanna Milo.
An outside hitter, a 5'7" junior from Branson, Missouri, number 19, Morgan LeBlanc.
That's Morgan LeBlanc.
Eagles are led by head coach Coleman Lee.
Coleman was.
Assisted by Garrett Case and Chilton John. Good luck to both squads.
Well, ready to get started. We had all the senior activities taking place. What Norris saying in the catbird seats. Central Methodist 19-9, 13-3 in the conference, ranked number 21 in the polls. Baker 9-17, 4-12 in the conference. Final regular season game. Of course, the postseason begins on Saturday. We know Central Methodist will host one there. Most likely 11 a.m., but we'll hopefully know more sometime tomorrow or maybe later on this evening, depending on how the other conference games are going on there as well. You see Baker in the white uniform, orange trim with the orange numerals. Central Methodist black uniform, white trim, white numerals, birds on the bats. So we're about ready to get started. As the officials checking, making sure we got everything all situated. You got Henson, Milo, Mawson, Bronner, Smith, McBurney. Looks like for Baker, looks like Kylie Murray, Kennedy Bryan, Kirsten Harmon. Looks like Reese Kill. So Riley McBurney from Blue Springs came from William Woods. Of course, had a great visit with her family right before the volleyball match and the senior activities. First serve is underway. Here comes Baker. Dug out there, and it's out of bounds, so a point for the Wildcats from Baldwin City, Kansas. Looks like it is Delaney Franklin from Eudora, Kansas. We had a player on Central Methodist baseball team this past year. Came from Eudora. That's into the net and a tie game at 1. That's Crystal Bronner. What an amazing career she has had. School's all-time leader in digs. Many other statistical categories during her time at Central. That's a double hit call, and Central Methodist leads it 2-1 now. 2-1's our score. Crystal Bronner will serve. Another line drive serve. Back goes Baker. Smith digs it out to McBurney. Sets it up for Morgan LeBlanc. And it's a 3-1 lead for Central Methodist. 3-1's our score now. Central Methodist on a 3-0 run there. Bronner still serving. Back goes Baker. And a point for the Wildcats to make it 3-2. Now into serve there. Looks like Kylie Murray from Florissant, Illinois. Another line drive serve to LeBlanc. They'll set it up for Annabelle Mawson. Back goes Baker. Sets it up to Bronner. Smith. Here is Morgan LeBlanc. Oh, off the ceiling. Back goes Baker. Plays it out to Mawson. Now McBurney. Here's a left-handed shot by Callie Henson to make it 4-2. 4-2 now. Over 1,400 career kills. Did that last night against Columbia College. There's Annabelle Mawson serving. Of course, her family is here. Of course, enjoy meeting her mom, Julienne. So Annabelle will serve. Another line drive serve there. Back goes Baker. Block. Block. And it's out of bounds. So a 4-3 game now. So now in the serve. Looks like Alyssa Champagne from Littleton, Colorado, around the Denver area. Henson to McBurney. They set it up beautifully. Delaney Miller makes it 5-3. That's Sydney Hill, one of the seniors being recognized. Had a great visit with her family during her time as well. That's from Staley High School in Kansas City. That's Gabby Turek will serve. Line drive serve there. That's out of bounds and a point for Central Methodist. So it's 6-3 now. So Turek will serve. Another line drive serve. It hits off. That's an ace. No question about it. Went off looks like the right hand of that's Kira Hippo, I do believe. And a 7-3 lead now. Central Methodist on a 3-0 run now. Back goes Baker into the net, and it's 8-3 now. Way it looks right now, Central Methodist could be number 2 seed. Could play, I would say, William Penn or so. 8-3 now. Dug out there. I believe that is a net violation. 9-3 now. 9-3 now. Now the coach from Baker wants an explanation there. So Central Methodist will still serve. It's still 9-3. And Gabby Turek will serve. Back goes Baker. And that's out of bounds and a 10-3 lead there. 10-3 is our score. Set number 1. Turek still serving. Back goes Baker. Nice block. Oh, nice job on Miller. But here comes Central Methodist Aturi. And that's Delaney Miller. Puts it down the line. Makes it 11-3. 11-3 now. Back goes Baker. Nice point there, and it's 11-4. Kara Hippo from Raymore, Missouri, around the Kansas City area. I think it's a little bit south if you're going to south on, I believe, 71 Highway. Turek, oh, nice job there. Back goes Baker. Two-handed set play to Bronner, Turek. Look at Delaney Miller with a touch shot. That is beautiful. 12-4 now. That's Jessica Mowry. Joanna Milo. Another four-year player recognized before the game from Arnold, Missouri, around the St. Louis area. What an amazing career. Hopefully down the road we may see her in the coaching ranks, coaching volleyball. And a point for Baker makes it 12-5 now. That's Morgan LeBlanc and Crystal Bronner. So now Race Kell from Gardner, Kansas. Milo to a Turek. Oh, nice job there, but here comes Baker. And a point for the Wildcats, makes it 12-6. Race Kell will serve again. 12-6, there's Milo, a Turek. Healy couldn't get it over. And Baker's on a 3-0 run. Makes it 12-7 now. 12-7 now. Had the right idea, just couldn't get it over the net. Little floater, couldn't get it over the net. And a point for Central Methodist. Makes it 13-7. Alyssa Smith will serve from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, the Ranger. In honor of Ranger Smith from the Yogi Bear cartoons, along with his pal Boo Boo. Oh, nice block. I believe that is Annabelle Mawson will get credit with the block. 14-7 now. The Ranger. 14-7. Oh, there's an ace down the right corner there. 15-7 now. Alyssa Smith. (15-7), set number one. Smith with the left-handed serve. Back goes Baker. Back goes a Turek. Milo, beautiful. 16-7. 16-7 now. Alyssa Smith still serving. (16-7). Back goes Baker. Oh, nice block by Annabelle Mawson. Makes it 17-7. Boy, Central Methodist is on a 5-0 run now. They answered a 3-0 run from Baker earlier. Smith with a floater. Free ball, and it's a point for Annabelle Mawson. 18-7. 18-7. Back goes Baker. A Turek. Bronner. There's Mawson. Block. Milo. A Turek. Oh, look at Annabelle Mawson. Makes it 19-7. 19-7. 19-7 now. There's another floater. Here comes a Turek. That's Sydney Healy, makes it 20-7. And a quick timeout there by Baker University. Set number 1, Central Methodist 20, Baker 7 on the Iron America Conference Network. Mm-hmm. Do. We'll give you a baseball score. Game number 4 of the 2023 World Series. Texas Rangers and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Top of the second inning. No score. As soon as we're done here, we'll head you out to Arizona to Chase Field for Game 4. Joe Davis, John Smoth, Ken Rosenthal, along with Tom Verducci, of course, Kevin Burkhardt, Alex Rodriguez, David Ortiz, and Derek Jeter. We'll have all the post-game stuff. 20-7 now. Set number 1 there. Line drive shot. Here's a Turek. I think that's a Milo. Digs it out there. Milo. A Turek. Healy. Nice. 21-7. 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 in a row. A 21-7 lead there. I think 3 years ago when Central Methodist played Baker, I think one time in that second set, if I remember correctly, they held them to 4 points. Blocked. 22-7. I remember that one because it was on a Sunday afternoon. Of course, that was at the time I was doing NFL scores. 22-7 now. And a point for Baker to end that 10-0 run now. 22-8 now. So Addison Butler checking in, one of the seniors. Of course, I met her mom. That's her mom, Susan, from Wentzville, Missouri. One of my favorite memories of going to Wentzville, I remember back when I used to be basketball manager for the women's basketball team, I remember we used to play Missouri Baptist, and we always stopped over at a McDonald's in Wentzville. Bronner to Aturi. Here's Healy. Back goes Baker. Bronner. Aturi. Milo. Back goes Baker with a touch shot and a point. That's 22-9 now. So now in the serve here. Kristen Harmon from Branson's, home of Silver Dollar City. Turek Milo puts it down, 23-9. So Callie Henson. Riley McBurney in the serve. Here is McBurney. Back goes, oh, nice block down the line. So it's 24-9. And it's set point now, ladies and gentlemen. Set point now is Riley McBurney in the serve. Back goes Baker. Mawson, McBurney. Here's Callie Henson. Back goes Baker. Here is. That goes McBurney. Here's Callie Henson. Bronner, McBurney. Here's Mawson. McBurney. Burney. Here's Callie Henson. Nice job both ways. Bronner, McBurney, Milo. Boy, they're still just grazing the net. Oh, nice job by Callie Henson. That's the first set. Central Methodist wins the first set, 25-9. We'll have set number 2 for you in 2 minutes, 2 seconds on CMUEagles.com and the Heart America Conference Network. That's okay. I always do. Okay, top of the second, no score. Okay. Ghostbusters. Do. Back here at Puckett Fieldhouse, Central Methodist University, set number 2. Quentin Norris sitting in the cat purse. Won the first set, 25-9. Of course, there's a baseball score to give out to you. Top of the second inning, no score between the Texas Rangers and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Game number 4 of the 2023 World Series. Texas leads that series 2-1. Game 5 tomorrow night. If there is a Game 6, it'll be Friday night at 7 o'clock from Arlington. Even though I've never been to Arlington, but I'll tell you one of my great memories ever took place in Arlington. It was George Brett's final hit, happened 30 years ago on October the 3rd on a Sunday afternoon off Tom Henke. And I always remember that one because the following May, when George Brett had his number 5 retired by the Kansas City Royals, part of the pregame ceremonies was the day they showed George Brett's final bat. So we're ready to get started. Riley McBurney, Joanna Milo. That's Annabelle Mawson, Danica White, Callie Henson. Looks like Crystal Bronner will come on out to the floor there. There, I think Alyssa Smith. But now they're checking the lineup cards. Or sometimes, and I've even learned this from a guy named Al Troutwig working at the Madison Square Garden Network when they used to do Yankee baseball. One of the things he likes to do, he always asks the umpires what his golf score is. So we're ready for set two. Bronner to McBurney. Here is Mawson. That's Smith to McBurney. Here's Joanna Milo. Back goes. That's partially blocked, and Baker leads it 1-0. Last time they led, it was that first. The opening set was 1-0. The rest of the time, Central Methodist took control of it. And ended up winning by 16, the largest. Bronner, McBurney, left-handed shot by Alyssa Smith. See what Baker does here. And I believe that is a net call and a tie game at 1. Danica White, that is Crystal Bronner from Jeff City. One of my first times I've ever been to Jeff City, the state capital, when I was in the summer of, I think, 1986. Here's Callie Henson putting it down, 2-1 now. And I remember my 7th grader went there on a field trip and got a picture taken with the state senator from Marshall, Missouri named Tom Marshall. And a tie game at 2 on a little dump shot down the left field corner there. I didn't know you were. And now in to serve for Baker University, Delaney Franklin from Eudora, Kansas. I believe that's where Central Methodist baseball player Khalil Thrasher, of course, one of the key contributors on that Central Methodist baseball team that went to the national tournament the past few years. Smith, McBurney, I think Danica White. Here comes. Oh, nice hustle, but a point for Baker. Makes it 3-2. So the Wildcats lead it 3-2. They're located in Baldwin City, Kansas, about 30 miles west of Olathe on I-35. Bronner, McBurney, Mawson. Bronner, McBurney, Callie Henson, and it's a point for Central Methodist to tie the game at 3. There's Annabelle Mawson. Annabelle Mawson. Annabelle with the serve, line drive. That goes Baker. Tries to dig out there, see if they get it over. Good job by Callie Henson. Back goes Baker, Bronner, McBurney. There's Danica White. Beautiful shot. Danica White, 4-3 now. She is from New Athens, Illinois, around the St. Louis area. And if in that same area is Alton, Illinois, the most famous celebrity. It's from that, two of the most famous celebrities. That is an ace there. The great Dwayne Stats, who is a baseball announcer with the Tampa Bay Rays, but he used to do Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN, subbing in for Harry Carey in the 4th inning. Annabelle Mawson. Nice block. It hit the shoulder pad of Kira Hippo, and it's a 6-3 lead. 6-3 now. Central Methodist won the first set, 25-9. Mawson serves. Line drive. And a point there. I think Kira Hipple will get the credit with the kills. 6-4 now. That's Kylie Murray from Florissant, Illinois. Around the Chicago area. McBurney. Oh, nice job there. Here comes Baker. Out of bounds and a 7-4 lead. That's Sydney Healy. Gavia Turek check in. Junior from Poland. Hopefully in a few years we may see some NFL football be played in Poland. I'm sure Roger Goodell will like that idea, along with my friend on Twitter, Dan Orlowski. 7-5 now. Alyssa Champagne from Littleton, Colorado, around the Denver area. Home of the 2022 Stanley Cup champion, Colorado Avalanche. Back goes Baker. Bronner to a Turek. Here's Healy. Putting it over. Makes it 8-5. Sydney Healy. That's Addison Butler. Addison Butler serving. Addison Butler with the serve. 8-5 now. Dug out to Ature. Milo. Back goes Baker. Here's a free ball blocked, but out of bounds, and a point to Central Methodist. Makes it 9-5. 9-5 now. And Addison Butler will serve. Don't forget tomorrow, the Central Methodist women's basketball team tips off the 24 season, taking on Stevens at 5:30. The men will play Health Science and Pharmacy at 7:30. So 9-6 now. And it's Kira Hipple from Raymore, Missouri. 9-6 now. Hipple. Bronner. Milo. And a point for Central Methodist. Makes it 10-6. Delaney Miller. And checking in is Jessica Mowry. Where's number 15? Like a great number 15, Tim McCarver. The great Tim McCarver, who you may remember stole home in Game 7 of the 1964 World Series. Bronner. Back goes there, and a point there. Makes it 11-6. That's Annabelle Mawson with the serve, with the kill there. Mowry in the serve from Arnold, Missouri. Also a great number 15, I used Meyer, the great Thurman Munson, catcher for the Yankees. Oh, there's a kill by Annabelle Mawson. Makes it 12-6. Played 10 years with the Yankees. He was the captain. The 1970 American League Rookie of the Year, the 1976 American League MVP. Had a hit, I believe, in 18 consecutive World Series games for Thurman Munson. A Turek. Healy. A Turek. Oh, there's Mawson. And it's 13-6. 13-6. 13-6. Here we are in set 2. Central Methodist won the first one, 25-9. Mowry still serving. Here comes Baker. It hit the antenna. Well, 14-6 lead. Mowry serving. Mowry. Back goes Baker. See what Baker does here. Back goes Bronner. I think that's a 4-hit call. Yeah, no question about it. 14-7. Race kill. Gardner, Kansas. The line drive serves into the net, makes it 15-7. Callie Henson, Riley McBurney from Blue Springs, Missouri. Beautiful area. I remember going to Blue Springs a number of times. (15-7) now. Set it up for Milo. Into the net, 16-7. 16-7 now. And now serving again is Riley McBurney. Another line drive serve. Here comes Baker. Bronner, McBurney, Milo. Henson to McBurney. Callie Henson. That's Mowry. McBurney. Left-handed shot. Like a number 12, the great Dusty Baker. Makes it 17-7. McBurney in the serve. McBurney serves. That's an ace, 18-7. At one time during that first set, Central Methodist went on a 10-0 run. They're already on a 4-0 run now. Back goes, and a point for the Wildcats. Makes it 18-8. Kirsten Harmon will serve. Harmon serves to Bronner. McBurney. Annabelle Mawson with the kill. Makes it 19-8. 19-8 now. Crystal Bronner in the serve. Back goes Baker. Bronner, McBurney. Back goes Baker. And a point for the Wildcats. Makes it 19-9. So 19. Delaney Franklin, Kiara Hibble check in. 19-9. That is Delaney Franklin serving. 19-9. McBurney. And now here's Danica White going left-handed with the point. 20-9. Of course, got to meet her family a few times as well throughout the season. Delaney Miller. Annabelle Mawson. Of course, they honored 10 seniors What a group of seniors. This is probably one of the finest group of seniors that we've had, I think, in the 31 years I have been a broadcaster. Henson tips it over to McBurney. Sets it up, two-handed set style to Callie Henson. Now, I can tell you this. In the 31 years, I have, gone to several volleyball matches. I even done some PA announcing. I have met a lot of the ones. There were a lot of them great people I have met and, of course, still friends with. But this is probably one of the finest group of seniors we have had in the 31 years. Danica White makes it 22-9. I think my 31 years in broadcasting. $22-9. 22-9, just hits the net, makes it 22-10. 22-10. Of course, last night at Columbia College, met a former student, one of my friends who used to go to Central Methodist, Gretchen Singleton. Of course, now it's Gretchen Seibert. Of course, I'm sure she is listening in. Had a great visit with her last night at the volleyball match between Central Methodist and Missouri Baptist. That's out of bounds. Knocks over the balloon there, 22-11. Still in set number 2. There's a line drive serving into the net. Now it's 23-11. That's Lauren Strange. That's Drew Gale. Got to watch her play some last night. Gotten some playing time. And she is serving from Annapolis, Missouri. Down in the southeast part of Missouri. 23-11. Gale. There's Lauren Strange from Bloomington, Illinois. The most famous celebrity. Kansas City Royals announcer Denny Matthews. And it's now set point now, 24-11. Set point now. So Drew Gale. Now still Central Methodist with the serve. Drew Gale. Back goes Baker. Mawson to Gale. Here is Danica White, but a point for Baker makes it 24-12. 20. Katie. Alyssa Champagne will serve. Also checking in Katie Valpero from Windsor, Colorado. So set point now for Central. Here's the jump serve into the net. And a victory for Central Methodist. They win it 25-12. 25-12. And they lead the match 2-0. We'll have set three for you in about 2 minutes, 2 seconds on CMUEagles.com and the Heart America Conference Network. Mm-hmm. Oh, my. Oh, my. Central Methodist leads the match 2-0. They won the first set 25-9 and 25-12. Of course, top of the third inning, it is the Texas Rangers leading the Arizona Diamondbacks 5-0. They're up 2-1. They're trying to win their first World Series title for the first time in the 52-year history of the franchise. Now, keep in mind, the franchise started in 1961 when they were the Washington Senators, and then they moved to Arlington in 1972 to be renamed the Texas Rangers. While on the other side, you got the Arizona. They're trying to win their second World Series championship in franchise history. They did that in 2001 in a 7-game classic over the New York Yankees. So it looks like Kelsey Walker, Riley McBurney, Jima Dizo, also number 24, Avery Irway. And I think I remember a few weeks ago against Culver Stockton, she even played some libero in that third set there. Of course, volleyball final regular season game Saturday. They'll be at home. Right now it's at 11, but we'll probably know more maybe tomorrow night during the men's and women's basketball game. Or you can follow it on CMUEagles.com or the Heartbreaker Conference website. Most likely it could be William Penn for the first round game there as well. And if they win Saturday, they will host the semifinal game Tuesday night. That's a week from tonight. Most likely to be determined. Could be Mount Mercy, maybe Benedictine as the possible matchups there. But I'm sure they'll have the brackets out for you probably sometime later tonight or maybe tomorrow morning there. So Riley McBurney in the serve. Of course, also that Saturday football plays Baker at 1 o'clock. Then women's soccer takes on Baker in the first round of the Heartbreaker Conference tournament at 6 p.m. Back goes Baker. Net call there, and for the third straight set, Baker jumps ahead 1-0. Last time they've led, it was 3-2 in the second set. The largest lead they've had was 1. The largest lead for Central Methodist has been 16. That was at the end of the first set. That is Irway. They set it up for Dizo and a point for Baker. Now it's 2-0. That's the largest lead they've had the entire night. So it's 2-0 now. Central Methodist won the first set, 25-9, 25-12. Serve out of bounds and a point for Central Methodist. 2-1 now. And now checking in there, Alyssa Smith. And here is Crystal Bronner. What an amazing career. And I will have a feeling in the next 5 years we may see her in the Central Methodist Hall of Fame. Out of bounds and a tie game at 2. Central Methodist trying to go for win number 20, but most importantly, finished the regular season 14-3 in the conference. Bronner. Back goes. Block. And a point there. I think that's Gima Dizo from Madrid, Spain with the block. Makes it 3-2, Central Methodist. Crystal Bronner still serving. Back goes. Back goes Bronner. Smith, beautiful shot down the right field corner. 4-2 now. The Ranger with the kill. Bronner. Dizo. Irway. Smith. And a point. That looks like a neck call. 5-2. Central Methodist is on a 5-0 run now. One time in that first set, if you remember the first set, they were on a 10-0 run. Coleman Lee giving out instructions. He looks like my high school history teacher named Rick Arney. 6-2 now. Looks like 6-2 now. 6-2 now. McBurney, here's Dizo. That's Irway. There's a left-handed shot. Out of bounds. Makes it 6-3 now. 6-3 now. So it looks like maybe Delaney Franklin will serve. I heard there was some. 6-3 now. Irway to McBurney. Alyssa Smith with the left-handed shot. Makes it 7-3. Delaney Miller from Buffalo, Missouri. Morgan LeBlanc, what an amazing career for Delaney Miller. Of course, he also ran some track, mostly did the high jump. Looking forward to seeing her do the high jump there. Hopefully we may see Delaney in the 2024 Summer Olympics in Paris, France. Dizo. Beautiful shot, 8-3. A little left-handed shot. DeZeo makes it 8-3. Morgan LeBlanc still serving from Branson. Back goes Alyssa Smith. And a point for the Wildcats. Makes it 8-4 now. Kylie Murray will serve. This most likely will be Baker's final regular season one. Out of bounds at 8-5. 9-4 Central Methodist. Lauren Strange. Drew Gale. Gale serving. Nice serve there. Oh, nice block by Delaney Miller. So 10-4 now. Ten to 4 now. Back goes Baker. Bronner. That's Lauren Strange. And a point now makes it not 10-5. Ten to 5 now. Alyssa Champagne. Champagne. LeBlanc. That's an ace. Makes it 10-6. Of course, we had all the seniors being recognized. 10 seniors. What an amazing career, what they have done to the Central Methodist volleyball team throughout these years. It's been a lot of fun meeting them. Enjoyed all the years there. And looking forward to seeing them do greater things after Central Methodist. Smith. And a double hit call makes it 11-6. Danica Whites, 12-6 now, 11-6. LeBlanc, Gale, nice left-handed shot there. Out of bounds, now it's 12-6. Central Methodist leads the match 2-0, winning the first set 25-9, 25-12. Smith with the left-handed shot. Oh, that's a beautiful ace. 13-6. That's like hitting a shot, a base hit, going from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma to Binger, Oklahoma, home of Johnny Bench. $13-6 now. That's now 14-6. In the sport of bowling, that would be considered a double. Or as Chris Schenkel would cry to see if Alyssa Smith can go for a three-bagger. That side went out. $14-7 now, third set. Kara Hipple. Hipple serving into the net, makes it 15-7. That's Kelsey Walker. Jessica Mowry. Jessica Mowry in the serve. Mowry serving. That's an ace for Jessica Mowry, 16-7. Most likely be the number 2 seed in the Higher Mecca Conference tournament. Most likely probably be William Penn, my guess. According to, of course, I checked the standings right before the broadcast and the pregame show. 16-7 now. And that's out of bounds, 17-7. 17-7 now, set number 3. They're 8 points away from win number 20, but most important stat, 14-3 in the conference. Mowry into the net, makes it 17-8. How? What? Reese Kill moves over to maybe the left side of the floor there. Floats it out to White Gale. There comes Baker. And it's now 17-9 now. Kell still serving. Kennedy Bryan from White, Kansas. Into the net, makes it 18-9. So Riley McBurney and Jamiza Dezo. So Riley McBurney in the serve. Of course, from Blue Spring, about 5 more miles from Blue Spring is Kauffman Stadium. And that's a block there. 19-9. And one of my claims to fame when it comes to Kauffman Stadium, the first baseball game I ever attended, it was Game 3 of the 1980 World Series. Kansas City Royals and the Philadelphia Phillies. Royals won it on a game-winning single from Willie Mays Aikens. And it's 18-10. 19-10. J.D. Vilpondo from Windsor, Colorado. I believe that's in the Denver area. Bronner, McBurney. There's a left-handed shot by Dezo. And it's now 20-10. So Alyssa Smith, Crystal Bronner. Look like Mr. Arm. 20-10. Dizzle. Oh, just a bit out. I thought it went in, but it's out. 20-11 now. 20-11 now. Set number 3. So, Kara Hipple and Delaney Franklin will serve. And an ace makes it 20-12 now. So 20-12, 5 more points away from win number 20, and most importantly, 14-3 heading into the postseason on Saturday. Out of bounds, makes it 21-12. Delaney Miller, Morgan LeBlanc. Morgan LeBlanc will serve. Back goes Baker. And a point for the Wildcats. Makes it 21-13. Kylie Murray in the serve. Floater out to McBlanc. McBurney. Dizzo. Back goes. Oh, nice job there. Makes it 22-12. Morgan LeBlanc. 22-13. Lauren Strange. That's Drew Gale in the serve. Gale serving. Gale. Alyssa Smith puts it down. 23-13. I think Delaney Miller gets credit with the kill. 23-13 now. 2 points away for win number 20. Finished the year strong. Gale, boy, she has played well in the last few weeks or so. It's now 23-14. Olivia Deckman and looks like Alyssa Champagne. Floater out to Gale. Oh, nice job, Delaney Miller, 24-14. And now it is match point now. And Dana Kawhi checks in there. It is match point. You see every Central Methodist fan standing and clapping. Here comes Baker. Oh, that's a winner on a kill by Morgan LeBlanc. They win it 25-14, win the match 3-0. Right now, of course, we'll give you the recap to tonight's game. Central Methodist won the first match 25-9, second set 25-14, third set 25-14. Central Methodist finished the regular season 20-9, 14-3 in the conference. Baker goes to 9-18, 4-13. They'll most likely be the number 2 seed in the Higher American Conference tournament. They'll start on Saturday, most likely 11 a.m. against, I would say, William Penn, but is my guess there as well. Of course, well, also that Saturday, Central Methodist football takes on Baker at 1 o'clock there as well. And then women's soccer at 6 p.m. takes on Baker as well. Of course, tomorrow night, Central Methodist men's and women's basketball goes at it. Women kicks off their 23-24 season, taking on Stevens, 5:30 p.m. The men will take on Health Science and Pharmacy. This is Quentin Norris saying so long. That's 6,903 of them. Hey, let's head out to Chase Field for game number 4 of the 2023 World Series between the Texas Rangers and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Joe Davis, John Smoltz, Ken Rosenthal, Tom Berducci, Kevin Burkhardt. You got A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez, along with David Ortiz and Derek Jeter. Take it away there, Joe Davis.